Excuse me, Marines.
All right, Don, don't start talking about my Navy boy.
You ever done a history segment when the person is sitting a foot to your right?
How deep you want to go?
When you get through with it, will you send it over to us?
Some things never change. Okay, are we ready to crack these tops? Gentlemen, are you ready to crack the tops?
Are we going to do that?
Oh, yeah. You hold up after the count of three. We're going to... Wait, fingernails. There we go. 3, 2, 1.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Unsubscribed Podcast. I am joined today by Mr. Eli Doubletap, the Fat Electrician, Don Graves, Al Chatwin, Chatwin. Oh my gosh, already messed up.
Oh, this is embarrassing.
This is embarrassing.
We're still starting out.
All right, I'm leaving now.
Erase that.
Goodbye. It's been a pleasure.
Brandon Herrera and myself, Donut Operator, thank you so much for tuning in today.
Hey, well, this is, holy shit. This came together really quickly. And this is, I mean, first off, it is an honor. Like, I truly mean that from the bottom of all our hearts, the audience, for you guys to take the time out of your day, your team bringing you out here, and just to represent what, like, true American heroes are and what you guys have done and actually the sacrifices you made. I mean that from the bottom of my fucking heart, from all of us. You guys are truly just amazing humans for what you went through and what you did and accomplished. So,
Thank you.
Well, thank you.
that's the most heartfelt thing I think we've ever gave a guest before. And on top of that, from all the boys, we did this together. Mr. Connor.
Yes, sir.
We got you a gift. We got you both a gift from all of us over here. So we just wanted to say thank you for just thank you for like everything. The greatest generation and what you guys went through is Don and Mr. Al.
Thank you, gentlemen, for your service.
Thank you.
Open it up. Open it up. Pop that top.
The name scares me.
It's Hamilton.
It's a $100 Best Buy gift card.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my goodness. Look at this.
Fantastic.
Wow.
Oh, thank you.
You're
so
welcome.
much.
You guys can keep that yourselves. Pass it on to your
That is
kiddos.
nice.
Kiddos,
That's beautiful.
kiddos. But that's our way of saying
This
thank
is
you for
getting kind of
everything you
beat
guys
up.
did.
Hey, this is a Timex. Just keeps on ticking.
Show the camera. Show the camera that stuff.
Show the cameras. That's
We went with military. We're like OD Green. These dudes are just OD military bros.
Thank you.
Of course.
We just appreciate you guys taking the time to come on. It's a privilege to speak with you.
Truly a privilege. Truly a privilege. So, where do we even begin on this one? We got like Mr. Historian.
Oh, boy.
You guys watching your interviews, watching you guys talk is amazing. You have so much energy. How old are both of you right now? Are you both 100 yet?
No.
no, yeah.
No, not yet. Whoa, offensive.
No.
99.
Okay.
I'm pushing him. I'm the young one. 98.
That is amazing. Now, for history, Nick, do you want to go in and give a little more history
I
on
guess-
what these fine gentlemen are known for?
You ever done a history segment when the person is sitting a foot to your right?
How deep you want to go? I guess, when did both of you guys join the military? What age?
18.
18?
You don't have to lie.
Yeah, I got drafted.
You got drafted?
Yes,
Oh. And you were Navy?
yeah.
Yes, sir. And Don?
17.
17? Permission slip?
Huh?
Permission slip from the parents? Your parents have to sign?
My dad and mother had to sign. Yep.
The day of you, the
I'd like
second
to
you
say something
turn.
about if it's going to be later on, or I can tell you now.
Yeah, go ahead.
Why I signed was in school. A lot of kids walked out of school and wound up in the war. And a lot of those kids at Pearl Harbor that are down in that ship, Arizona, skipped school. And when I speak to high school, they'll all come up to me afterwards, and some of the fellows will say, "How could you do that? How could you leave everything and go off to war?" I said, "So you can stand there and tell me what you just said." My dad did it. That's the way it is. Young men fight wars, not older men. They won't do it. It takes young men. And we were crazy. And if speaking for the Corps, they'd made me worse crazy.
True devil dog. And then how was being drafted?
But
for
you know,
Oh,
everything, everybody went to war. Our sisters, our mothers, everybody went to war in the factories. That's how we produced so doggone fast and furnished 3 allied companies, plus ourselves. And if it weren't for them, we'd have never won the war.
no, I truly agree on that.
Hey, man, they put a lot of airplanes out.
Yeah.
They did a lot. That was part of recovering the economy at that point. The
Yes.
amount of
Oh,
jobs and everything that came from the manufacturing, and we need beans, bullets, airplanes, and ship it overseas as fast as
You
possible.
know, there's something else that really, really hit me hard. I've been watching the conventions, Republican conventions. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I'm neither. I'll go for the party that does something for our country.
Amen.
But when I heard those people speak about everything that went on that was allowed because illegals came into the country, I felt like an American again. I was depressed over it. Those people were pure-blooded Americans. And listen, the last time, I think some of you fellas were there, when we were at the American Airlines, all those people up in the balcony, you remember, way up, all the way around, it was, they were applauding. Gary Guinness was there.
Out there.
It was just, I tears coming down my face. I finally caught something that reminded me of my country when I was a kid. And I think we're rallying around. I think we're going to become real active American people. All we need is a leader. And we had leaders during the war, incidentally. And we've got one that was born and raised not too far from here, the Admiral. Yes. He was my boss. He was your boss, too.
He was my boss, yeah.
Even though you were in the Navy.
Hey.
I bet you guys rib each other a lot.
You couldn't ask that.
We had to carry him around where they had to go.
Of course you did. And you could do it safely because we manned the guns.
This is what I was looking forward to.
What is that?
Tell him to take a look at his toes.
All right, Don, don't start talking about my Navy boy over here. We're going to have a problem.
What is that old saying? War
That
changes,
thing's
but
been
war
going on
fighters
for
don't.
years. See what you fellas started?
As it should be.
How old were you guys when FDR was elected?
Go where?
FDR during the war. You said we had a lot of great leaders. I'm assuming he's one of them that you're talking about.
Yeah, well, I was still 15 then.
15 when FDR was elected.
Oh, now you hit on something.
Yeah.
That was our hero. He took us through the war. He took us through the Great Depression, took us out of the Depression. Now the war starts. He took us through the war. My first regimental commander was Jimmy Roosevelt, his son.
Yeah.
Good Marine. He was 6'3". I was an inch shorter then than I am now. I carried a 72-pound flamethrower on my back up a hill, and he'd go off like this. And I lost it, and I began to say things I shouldn't. And I looked next to me, there was a shiny pair of boots, and it was him. He says, "That's all right, Marine, you'll make it." Yes, sir.
Now, I want to know what basic training was like for the boot camp, and then boot camp in the Navy. Was it called boot camp for the Navy?
Yes, boot camp, yeah.
We had boot camp, that's for sure, yeah.
Yeah.
This is because we have, I mean, in 2000s, we went through basic training, completely different than when you guys did basic training.
Well, neither one of us will ever forget it, right?
Right.
Go ahead, sailor.
I had a good one.
Huh?
I had a good one. They opened up I was drafted in New York State, and the boot camp there, they had built a new one on Lake Canandaigua, which is one of the Finger Lakes. And that's where I went to boot camp. And a big old Canandaigua Lake is the long and skinny one. Yeah, man, they even had us out there rowing, rowing boats. And,
Cold ass water.
yep.
So when you guys were getting like for the Navy boot camp, did you get smoked a lot, in trouble when like doing push-ups? How did they punish you? Like now they can't do anything. You get a timeout card now if you guys didn't know that. Yeah, stress cards now. So they're literally a thing now. What, like for the Navy, how was that when you guys like just smoked the shit out of you guys? Sorry for my
I thought it was really easy. We got the hikes and the marching in, that type of thing. And when I got there, I came down with what they called cat fever. And I spent almost 3 weeks in the hospital tent. Yeah, it was evidently a normal situation because I'd never heard of cat fever before. Catarrhal, something or other. And they cured me of it, and they went back, and I went back to work.
That's great. I just like it was a hospital's a tent. At that time, it was just like a tent out in the heat or
yes,
summertime, wintertime. Was it summer or winter, spring?
Spring.
Spring. Okay, so it wasn't too bad.
Well, that depends where you are in New York State. Originally from Buffalo, and we get snowstorms, the fake lake effect snow. I remember my son, after he got married, had rented an apartment, and they had an open deck outside, but he was on the second level. Well, that winter, we had snow, and you could walk from his porch out right on top of the snow, which is right at second level.
The patio. You're like, man, just don't even need stairs. God dang.
Do you have any bad habits that you need an alternative to?
No.
Why do you ask?
Well, have you ever heard of the flavored air category?
No.
Tons. Why?
It's quickly becoming the leading alternative to bad habits.
Is that the one that's a whole new movement towards better habits? Led by the sponsor of today's video, Fume.
Fume is an award-winning flavored air device with flavors like crisp mint and orange vanilla.
Fume draws flavor to your mouth hole.
And there's no vapor, so you can use it anywhere.
There's no nicotine. It's not addictive.
Non-toxic flavors.
And no batteries, so you never have to worry about charging it or what happens when it dies and you freak out.
It's a guilt-free alternative. It looks awesome. Branded, feel the weighted, cool design.
Oh my God, it's almost like it's made to fidget with, like it calms anxiety through the use of magnets and things.
Which of the core flavors is your favorite, Brandon and Cody?
Crisp mint.
I like orange vanilla. It's like a creamsicle.
Fume has served over 300,000 customers.
And you could be the next success story.
For a limited time, use the code UNSUB to get a free gift with your journey pack.
Head to tryfume.com. That's TRYFUM.com with code UNSUB.
Or scan the QR code on screen right now to get a free gift with your order today.
So, cat fever, real quick. I was listening to you, Al, talk about cat fever. It's when you have a temperature over 102.5 degrees Fahrenheit. It can be caused by bacterial, viral, or fungal infections, or parasites, like basically bad living conditions. Yeah, so in boot camp, you probably didn't have the best living conditions.
No, we didn't.
Okay.
No, we didn't.
Some things never change.
Yeah. Not at all.
I bet the Marines was beautiful, though, right? 5-star hotel, boot camp just...
I went to San Diego. Hollywood.
Godspeed.
Hollywood Marine.
Dream on.
Well, the first thing that happened the first morning, Jackson stands there. He knows, he went through it. They marched us, the staff sergeant marched us down to the boonies, the water, and there were warehouses there. We had tents because there were so many troops, the kids that came in. The parade ground was just all thick with troops. So he marched us down there, and he said, I want you young fellows to take a look at those transports. Do you see them? We said, yes, sir. He said, when I get through with you, you're going to be sent to some outfit. And when you get in that outfit and you train, you might be on one of those transports. And if you keep your nose clean and do as we tell you, you might just make it, but I doubt it very much. How's that for 17-year-old kids? Then we fell out for inspection one time. I don't know why he took it out of me. I don't know. Maybe I had some sort of a look. But he stood right up in front. He stood right up in front of me, and his nose was right there. He said, "You miss your mama?" I didn't say one word. You don't answer because you're going to get it. I didn't say one word. You miss your mama? Oh. Do I see a tear falling there? Uh-huh. I thought so. Well, before we're done in this 8 weeks here in this man's corps, we will make young men out of you, and don't you ever forget it. So get in shape right now. And that's when the tear came.
Now, when you guys, what were punishments in boot camp for, like, let's say you, Don, if you got in trouble, what would be a punishment in boot camp?
You know, we weren't used to by the clock. So I was scrubbing my teeth. Didn't shave then. But I was scrubbing my teeth. Just scrubbing my teeth. We fell out 5 o'clock and we left for chow. I come running. Oh gosh, where's the fellas at? Nobody here. Oh my gosh, they've left. So I got out in the street, Company Street, and there they're going. I ran all the way I could, snuck in the rear. Tune, halt, 1, 2, grays fall out. I fell out in front.
Uh-oh.
What time did we fall out for chow? I made a mistake. I think. Bam, 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 and I went down. Right down on the ground. And all the kids said, oh. What they meant was, you can burn him now. But I didn't. Get this. Later on, I had a phone call I could make. So I want to call my mama. My dad was a Marine the First World War. Oh, big bad deal. Wow. So I got on the phone, and he grabbed the phone and said, hello. I said, Dad, this is Don. Yeah, how you doing? I said, well, you know, I got a little problem. And I said, I got so doggone ticked off and mad at him. He decked me. You know, he said, it seems to me that I remember you hounded us to death to go in the Marine Corps. You got in, now shut your mouth and do what you're told. Hung up the phone. And I said, I didn't expect that.
Thanks, Dad.
Yeah,
but you asked the question, what made us so? When did we go in? We were in a car, the three of us. Buddies, we grew up together, went off to war and came home. The three of us are sitting there, we're all 16 years old. Had a blanket us around us, right in Detroit. The day after Pearl Harbor. And we're sitting there listening to the big bands. Oh, we love the big bands. Then all of a sudden the announcer came on, ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt this broadcast. The President of the United States will address the nation. And we were sat like this, and on came our hero. When I heard this speech, I went downtown Detroit to the recording office, and I had 35 cents to buy a recording with his speech on it 2 weeks later.
No doubt.
It was hot. Everybody bought it. Oh, I don't know where it's at now. But this is what he said, and we're listening. Yesterday, December 7th, 1941, a date that will live in infamy. United States of America was suddenly and deliberately attacked upon in the naval armed forces of Japan. I interpret the will of Congress and of the people. We will gain triumphant victory, so help us God. I said, tomorrow morning I'm skipping school and going to join the Marine Corps. They said, you can't. You got to be 17. I'm going down and get the paper. They said, your mom's not going to sign it. Oh, yes, she will. No, no, she's not going to sign that paper. Your dad will. He was a Marine in the First War. Well, 6 months went by. I was 17. We had a birthday party. I ran out that door, ran all the way downtown Detroit, 1 mile. I ran all the way up the stairs in the federal building on the 4th floor. I walked towards the wall. Here's the gunny sergeant standing there. He said, what can I do for you, young man? I said, I want to sign up. He said, how old are you? I said, 16. He says, I can't take you. You got to be 17. Well, I said, I only got 6 months to go. He said, when you get to be 17, come back and see me and we can do business. Well, now I'm there. And he says, well, how did you do? I says, I got it. I got it. He said, did your mother sign? Yes. He said, how did you get her to sign? My dad said, Vera, come over here. I just signed this. Sign that. That was my mother's name. She says, I'm not signing that. I went through this First World War. I'm not going through this again. He said, Vera, let me talk to you. The boy walks out of school. He's doing menial jobs. He'll probably turn out to be a bum. Sign the paper. When I heard that, I did this to my mother.
You did the sad face?
She said, give me the pen. Ran back down. That's when the gunny sergeant met me. And 2 weeks later, I was in the Corps.
Gonna be a bum.
Hi everyone, Donut here. We're doing shots before going to the Pacific War Museum to hang out with our friends, Al and Don.
But the only thing more fun than history is buzzed history.
Unsub field trip.
This is the only museum in the country dedicated strictly to the war in the Pacific.
They have a nuke.
We hit the beach. It took us 3 days from the beach to go 575 feet to the base of Mount Suribachi.
What was it like? Okay, Al, what was it like getting drafted? That would be, we don't know what that's like, period. There's being voluntold to do something is a crazy thing, and to serve during that time period, any time period with like volunteers versus like you're forced to join. So how was that on your, like, oh, well, I'm doing war.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound too good, does it?
No. But it was, well, completely meaningless to me at that time until I got into the raising my right hand and say, I do. And, well, I was a little runt. I weighed 127 pounds. So I had qualms about what I could do. They told me what I could do. And I did it. So the boot camp was an eye-opener, too. It really was. And being in the Navy, they even had boats for rowing. And I was a little shrimp, so they had me as a coxswain. So I did the stroke, stroke, stroke. I didn't have to pull the oar.
So, Al, did they come to you one day and say, hey, you're in the Navy now?
No. We got right after we got the notice, we got a notice of where to meet, get on the bus, and take you downtown to Buffalo, and they signed us in there. There was no leading up to anything. It says, this is it, and that's what you got. That's what you do.
So you didn't get to choose your branch. They just told you, hey, well, you're doing this now.
No, I chose a branch.
Okay.
Smart man. He was like, Navy. What was the turnaround time from letter received to, hey, you have to report to duty station? Or to
Well,
MEPS?
they what they did is they sent me a notice that there's going to be a bus waiting for you, and all the draftees, and we went from there into Buffalo and got signed in.
Holy moly. So it was like a week or?
Yeah.
How much time did you have before the notice and meeting? Like, how much time did you have to tell your family bye, get your stuff in order?
Oh, 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
Damn.
What were you doing at the time? Like, what job were you doing at the time?
I was still in school.
Oh, okay. So they just said, you're in the Navy now. Report in 2 weeks.
Yes. And I got to the bus, and here was the mayor of my village was there too, and he had 5 kids.
Holy. And were 5 kids there with?
No.
Oh, I was
no,
like,
no,
dang,
no.
the mayor's like, damn it. Here we go.
Yeah, right. So he ended up with LSTs in Europe, and I ended up, well, I had put in for aviation. I wanted to fly. And, well, I went in 44, and the Air Force said, sorry, we're not hiring pilots anymore. So I said, well, then I think I'll check the Navy, because I don't have to sleep in a foxhole in the rain.
Smart man.
Don's like, shut up. He's like, it was a comfortable foxhole.
You know, listening to him, I thought of something. After 8 weeks, now normally in the Marine Corps, boot camp is 12 weeks. But because of the amount of young men we had, they made it short. We did everything they normally do in 12. We did it in 8 weeks. They worked the life out of us. But there's something that I learned, and I think he would agree to this. When they got done with 8 weeks in boot camp, how many weeks did you have?
About 8 weeks.
8 weeks, okay. When they got through with us in boot camp, we had a ceremony. We were all lined up, and the band came out, Marine Corps band. And when they played, if you had a camera, you'd never see a dry eye. We looked at that flagpole and saw all glory go up. For the first time in my life, I felt like a young man that had a responsibility in the front of me.
Yeah, I got to go along with it.
To get my country squared away. We all felt, we went back to our tents after, and we discussed that. But we were still teenagers. I'll conclude with this. I don't know why, but when you have a family come and visit and they leave, you're homesick. You should never have it. It just messes your life up. My mother came with my aunt. We went all over. We had a good time. They left. I came home, flopped out on the bunk. In the morning, they fell off for chow. I wasn't going to go. And my buddy, who was in charge, said, Graves, get out here. I said, I can't see it. Bad thing to say.
Yeah.
Bad.
Yeah.
He took off with the boys. 10 minutes later, I'm on a cot, and the flap is right there next to me. The flap went up, the cot went upside down, and I hit the deck. And the first sergeant said, Graves, report to my tent as soon as you're dressed. I got up and I dressed. I went into his tent. And I said, Sarge, he said, Graves, he cussed. I don't know, you snot kids are driving me crazy. He says, the old man's going to come and talk to you. I'm my captain. I love that guy. He liked me. He put a flamethrower on my back. And I was the shortest guy in the company. Well, he said, okay, Graves, we got to walk up the hill to the old man, our colonel. He's the one that gave the flag to Lieutenant put up on Mount Suribachi. So he said, we walked up, we knocked on the door. Come in. We walked in, and I'm standing next to my skipper. And he said, Graves? I said, yes, sir. Not again. He said, how many times is this? Third one, sir. What did I give you the last time? 2 days, bread and water. Well,
You're a troublemaker.
Well, why play around with it? Why bother with it? Why don't we give you 5 this time? Maybe you might wake up and learn something. I says, yes, sir, I'll take it. Go. On the way back, the skipper said to me, Graves, he said, listen, I didn't know when I came in the Corps that I'd be handling snot-faced kids that are babies. My gosh, wake up and become a young man, will you? The best advice he ever gave me. That was it.
This is the time. It's crazy. You have like drill sergeants that you got punched how many times by your drill sergeant?
Huh?
When your drill sergeant punched you multiple times?
No. They can't touch you, but they can rail right on you and burn you up. My sergeant, he went home every night. I think he had a problem with his wife. That's what I think. He wasn't very happy. He was mad. And I was just the guy he was going to take it out on.
And I can believe that.
Because, I was a nice kid. He didn't have to hit me.
Holy shit. You guys are amazing. All alone? Now time to trim the old pubes.
Hey there, beach babe. Are you ready to soak up those summer vibes and get the perfect beach bod?
I don't have pants on.
Yeah, I noticed. Well, you're in luck, because our friends over at manscaped.com have you covered from head to toe. With the Performance Package 5.0 Ultra, they'll have you looking and feeling good this summer. Trust Manscaped to unlock the confidence you need to turn heads this summer season. Join the 10 million men who already trust Manscaped and use discount code UNSUB at checkout to get 20% off your order plus free shipping. Let's make this summer your smoothest one yet.
Keep your ear and nose as tidy as your hedges. With the Weed Whacker 2.0 ear and nose head trimmer, you'll be looking classy as ever.
The updated Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra groin and body hair trimmer got a summer makeover. It's waterproof now for all those times you need to shave your groin or body hair at a pool party.
So get 20% off plus free shipping using code UNSUB at manscaped.com. The summer sun is here to stay, so trust Manscaped to keep those pubes at bay.
Let's get into what you guys did in the military. Now we're past basic, we're past boot camp. What did both of you do in the military? You were infantry, and you had a M2 grenade flamethrower, correct?
Marine Corps is all infantry, yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Yep.
And then flamethrower, you had the M2.
Yeah,
that was your job in the military.
M1. We started out with the First World War, 03 Springfield. That was a good one. Here we are. We never carried a rifle like that in our life. Bold action. 6 rounds. We went to the rifle range. They gave me the rifle, prone position, elbow on something, and I went like this. See what I'm doing with my left hand?
Yeah, you put your
Instead
thumb.
of going this. And I'm firing away. And he's, what are you doing? I said, I'm firing my rifle, Sergeant. You can't do that in the Marine Corps. You can't do that. I said, I have to. He says, I'm left-handed. I can't help it. I'm left-handed. Give me 6 rounds fast. So I put a clip in. Bang, 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 6. Well, I guess we're going to break another rule in this man's Marine Corps. Go ahead. All right. Then the M1 came out. That took care of it.
Yes, it did.
That weapon won the war.
Oh, that was a magnificent weapon.
It won the war.
The first semi-automatic standard issue
That's
weapon
right.
in the world.
And they had the carbine.
Yep.
Just as good. No distance, though. Short.
You guys all like the M1, though?
Oh, we loved it. Yeah.
Did you ever have any issues in the Pacific in the jungle? Did it ever, like, warp the wood with the temperature?
I'm not following
So
you.
the M1 is it's wood. It's a wood stock, right?
It's all wood stock.
So in Vietnam, a lot of Vietnam vets said that the jungle climate would warp the wood.
We never had that
Never had it?
problem. No,
Okay.
no.
Not on Guam.
It's hard. It's hardwood.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Same for you. You trained with the M1 or the
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Okay.
yeah.
And then what was your job in the? Explain your job during the Navy time.
To be honest about it, I was a flunky. Seaman, second class. Whatever job came along, I got it. Mess cooking, guard duty, unloading bags of cement.
So, Al, you were a boatswain's mate?
I was a yeoman.
A yeoman. So you were just doing everything that they wanted you to do.
Oh yes, well that's before I got my rating. Yeah, it was a seaman second, and I made first. And I went in 44. But I didn't hit Guam until Christmas Eve of 1944.
No doubt.
And after I served my time, at least 6 months over there in Guam, I said, "What about rank?" And he says, "Well, the only thing we got over here right now is yeoman." And I said, "A yeoman? That's a ball-bearing wave, isn't it?"
Gazoon type.
No, Al said he was a petty officer third class, so him and I are E4 for life.
Yeah.
E4 Mafia.
Yeah, E4 Mafia.
You're just going to high five me.
Yep.
E4 Mafia for life.
There you go.
So, what ship were you on during Guam?
I wasn't.
No?
I was land-based. In Guam.
Land-based?
Yeah. Huh?
Were you at the battle? Like when they retook Guam, were you there?
No. I came in after the Marines had secured it.
Okay.
And I worked at the Dayville receiving station there. So we, all the ships that got sunk and the crews came back through our base, either heading back to the States or waiting to pick up another ship. Gotcha. And we just in and out.
Work.
Yeah.
And this is the time. How much did they pay you for the Navy? How much was your pay as an E4 a month?
Well, it was $50.
Inflation's a hell of a drug.
That's crazy. Like you're going to war, but $50, well, right? And you're like, oh, well, I guess so.
I had another problem, and that was a home problem. Because I'd take money and send it home to my mother. And when I got out and got back home, I said, "Where's my money?"
Oh.
He said, "Oh, well, your brother's kids needed it, so I gave it to them." I was going to buy a car as soon as I got home.
Oh, my heart. My heart.
I'm just trying to think of what the 1940s equivalent of a Camaro at 36% APR
I
would
know.
be.
Dang. And then Don, you were issued the the flamethrower. M1 flamethrower.
M2.
Yeah, I was like, I think it was an M2. Yeah. And that's
a rifle.
Yeah. And that is a terrifying thing. So if anyone's never fired one, put one on, when you crank those nozzles to even get the fuel system running, it's a high pressure system, and you hear like the creaking of the metal. I fired one. It is. And the recoil, it's surprising. But
Eli, what's the fuel inside of that?
What's nitrogen? There's a middle tank that's nitrogen, and the two other tanks are
2 tin tanks, 1 settling tank,
There.
reinforced, 5 gallons. A gun with a cap rotating. Remember the cap guns? Mm-hmm. Rotating cap. A needle, you pull a trigger, needle hits it, sparks it, shoot the juice, out it goes.
What's the fuel? Is it gasoline, diesel?
Fuel oil, all fuel, oil and gas. Napalm, we didn't use it because the tanks had napalm. They could shoot that thing way out, you know. We strictly had burning fuel, you know.
And then you talked about, I know previously you talked about even when you were beaching. And
hitting the beach?
Yeah, hitting the beach in Iwo Jima. You had that on your back.
I had it on my back, yeah.
And then how deep was the water at that? Like, I can't fathom that.
Almost up to my waist. We couldn't get it any closer. Everybody's jammed on the beach. We couldn't get off. We couldn't get it. So we over the side. How am I going to get 72 pumps over the side? My two buddies, I have a man on my left and one on the right. They have to stay with me. If I don't have them, I'm done. Because if I fall, I can't get up.
Were you guys using amphibious tractors or
amphibious tractors? That's exactly what we had. Not out the front. You go over and you come in that way. So he said, I can't get any closer. Overboard. So we all got out. My two buddies helped me up and shoved me. I went down in the water, and I'm crawling up towards the sand, and finally I get up to where I get out of this. They came and grabbed me, dragged me up on the sand. It was jammed. We were just like this, jammed. And they were right there on Mount Suribachi, 575 feet away, firing down on us.
Damn.
So
when you first hit the beach with the flamethrower, did you have to have the caps for ignition for the flamethrower in a bag or anything to keep the water from ruining them?
No, everything just right on your back, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no problem, yeah.
So Eli, real quick, filled up, it was 68 pounds.
Yep.
Served by one crew member, Don, and it had 1 nitrogen tank for the propellant and two U.S. gallon tanks of napalm/gasoline. At a total, yes, of 68 pounds.
68 pounds. And you were the smallest one?
What's that?
You were the smallest one?
I was a short.
And they're like,
here
you go.
I was what they called a feather merchant. He'd have been a feather merchant, too. We're on the rear end.
So how many? So you're saying you were like side by side. There was a bunch of you. How many Marines were during the assault?
How many carried the flamethrower, or do you mean the assault?
During the assault, side by side.
3 divisions. Well, excuse me, 2 divisions. We held the 3rd division in the rear
60,000
for about a week. But when we got hit so hard, we needed replacement. So they sent we had all 3. My regiment, we hit Green Beach 1 right by Suribachi, and we would go over the top, turn left, and secure that, because that's where they had full power, over 8 square miles. They could shoot anywhere, it was 8 square miles. Yeah. So that was our job. The 3rd went up to the right on the airstrips. That airstrip was tore all apart. And the primary purpose of being there, we had to get the airstrip straightened out because the B-29s were getting knocked down. Our planes could not go there and take them back to Saipan. They run out of fuel. So the purpose of taking that was getting it rebuilt. The CBs did that. Incidentally, the CBs for the first time hit the beach with us, and they said they'll never do it again. They had a heavy casualty. They weren't trained for that.
Navy CBs. There we go. Navy again. There we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
They were to secure those airstrips so the B-29s could come in. I saw the first one come in and land on fire.
Holy shit.
The Air Force took over that down there. They were right around the airstrips. And when they saw that baby come in and saw it get on fire, they got the crew out of there within minutes and backed off, and she just went puff like this. That was it.
Dang. I said it's experiencing war is one thing. We've talked about it on the podcast, my war, even the wars before that, compared to what you guys went through, is just, I can't rationalize that in my head. Like when we're getting in a fight, it's against one guy or two guys max, or an IED is going off. So it's just they're setting off an explosion and running. They're not doing. It's not a battle. Versus you guys went through like a war. Like how many?
We haven't had near pure warfare in 80 years.
Yeah.
So our generation has no clue.
Well, you know what scared me? Word came around. What do we need to find out how quick they got killed? What is the lifespan? The span. Lifespan of the flamethrower in Iwo Jima was 4 minutes.
Holy shit!
I was the only one in my battalion that walked off.
Out of every flamethrower.
Out of the battalion.
Well,
and a battalion is 400.
850.
Oh.
How many survived in Iwo Jima?
Well, there's not too many. Very few. Yeah.
That's
very few. Well, your company was your company?
I'm the only one in my battalion, and
And that's out of all the flamethrower. And then your battalion of soldiers, because your battalion was 800 people.
Excuse me, Marines.
Marines. Oh my God!
I knew that was coming. I knew it was coming as soon as you said it.
Soldier, I know. An army built in my head. He's like Marine. He slaps me. I'm like, I'm sorry.
I can't help it. That's what they said in the boot camp.
Were there other islands that you made amphibious landings on?
I spent a lot of time around the Pacific. We were all set for combat. I was in a 2nd Anti-Tank Battalion. I drove a Dodge pickup with a 37 millimeter anti-tank gun. I'm on it, and it was right next to my head. And once in a while, we'd fire on the run training. Well, now I got hearing aids.
Yeah, they did not have ear pro back then.
I was about to say, did I mishear that?
I came very close to being on Tarawa. 2 square miles, 2,000 killed in 2 days. We had 8 square miles, 7,000 killed in 6 weeks. 20,000 wounded.
Wait,
Tarawa. The Battle of Tarawa, the Japanese general in charge of Tarawa said that 1 million men couldn't take Tarawa in 100 years. And Tarawa was unique because they had coral reefs all around the island.
Yeah.
So they didn't think that the Marines, they'd only ever seen Higgins boats, and Higgins boats wouldn't be able to make it over the coral reefs. Well, this is when the Marines showed up with amphibious tractors and drove right over the top of them and kept going. And it scared the dog shit out of the Japanese. One of the generals had recorded that one of the privates underneath him, when he saw the tractors hit the coral atoll or the coral reefs and drive right over the top, said they looked like spiders crawling over the water and that the gods of death had come, referring to the Marines.
Well, I like to refer to that island as 2 miles of our 8 miles. Same battle.
Yeah.
Bloody. And they come up, the Marine Corps has come up with that was the worst battle in the history of the Marine Corps. No other battle is compared to it, but I found one. Where do you think it is? Philadelphia. Right over the border. Civil War.
Oh, yeah.
That was a battle.
Huh? Gettysburg is compared to Iwo Jima.
Wow.
That was a bloody battle.
That was extremely, it's one of the most bloody battles in all of U.S. history. And then Iwo Jima. And then it's for the viewers at home that don't know this, you were there during the raising of the flag in Iwo Jima.
We were fighting up, and when we got to the crest, they were raising the pole. Do you know what that pole's made of?
No.
Let's hear it.
Drain pipe. They found drain pipe up there. We didn't have a flag. We knew nothing about a flag. My battalion commander took one from the ship. His skipper told him, he said, Colonel, I got this flag. If you can put it up when you get on that mountain up there, put it up for me. I appreciate it. He said, I'll do it. So that's how that flag got in the picture. A drain pipe, and they found wire to tie the flag on with.
So when you saw it, did you think anything of it at the time? Did you think that it was anything special, or was it just another thing going on?
Every eye was watery. Mm. When that flag went up, and we were shocked to begin with, when it went up, 500 ships out in the bay let go with horns, rockets, everything, tracers, everything. Our boys on the north end let go with tracers.
Yeah, America.
It was, you know what it was like the 4th of July at New York Harbor there?
No doubt.
Oh, it was, and we just stood there, and boy, tears coming down our face.
And the Japanese are like, well, shit, that's amazing.
All right, Brandon.
But it only made the Japanese fight twice as hard.
Okay. I gotta get next to my E4 buddy over here.
They're switching spots.
Petty officers.
You know, sometimes you have to be demoted, you know.
Don, don't worry about the E4 Mafia for life, okay? E4 Mafia, we got it, okay?
We got it.
We now got it over here.
The Navy love to sit together.
Don't worry about how much
We're
I
gonna
sleep.
start fighting.
Sometimes I sleep on my stomach, Eli.
Al, what was your one of your most crazy times in the military during that time?
Crazy time.
Oh yeah. Her name was no.
Well, no, I was originally supposed to be a radio operator aboard a Avenger torpedo bomber.
Oh, damn.
And thank the Lord, I couldn't pass code. And the torpedo bomber, when it drops the torpedo, it goes out like this, and the radio operator sat right here. And all the guns are pointing at it. So I thank the Lord that I failed it.
Like, no, this ain't for me.
Oh, man. Did you almost serve on a submarine?
No.
Okay. Oh.
Heavens.
Not a fun time.
Not a fun time.
Where's the Submariner over here?
Is there a Submariner over here? We got a bubblehead over here, dude?
Yeah, we got a bubblehead.
No, he's outside. He's outside.
Okay.
No, he's outside. He's outside right now. That's like
Submarines aren't exactly great now. Back then, yeah.
Very not great.
When they, yeah.
Oh, man.
Are you ready? Babe, let's bring out Big Daddy.
Love that idea.
Who wants better sex?
What'd you do with my wife?
Don't worry about that. She's fine.
The best way to get started is by going to adamandeve.com.
Adam and Eve is offering 50% off just about every item, and that includes free shipping plus rush processing.
Where is she?
Didn't I already tell you that she's fine? Adam and Eve wants to make your life easy. Plus 100% free shipping and rush processing on your entire order.
What?
It doesn't matter how much you spend or what you buy, all of it will be sent discreetly, fast, and to you for free.
Why do you keep doing this?
Bring more pleasure and satisfaction into your bedroom. Just go to adamandeve.com and select any one item. It could be an adventurous new toy or anything you desire. Just enter offer code UNSUB at checkout.
That's unsub, UNSUB, at adamandeve.com.
This discount is specific to this podcast, so be sure to use code UNSUB at checkout.
100% off free shipping and get it fast with rush processing.
Code UNSUB.
So you've told multiple stories, Don, but what is a story you haven't told that much or out to the world where you're like, oh yeah, it's a cool or at least a crazy story, or even just when you got in trouble the most in the military? I'm actually going to switch it to that. I want to know what stuff you got into, what trouble you got into in the military.
In the military?
Yeah, worst trouble.
There's a submariner.
Oh, I wish I hadn't asked that.
That's the guy.
Do I have to?
That's him.
I mean,
It's up to you.
I met a girl.
One?
I met a girl. and you know, young fellas think they're always in love, you know.
oh yeah, Cody.
I stayed an extra day. I had a 72 leave, 3 days, and I took an extra day. That's where the colonel threw me in the brig. That was the first time.
All right, why did he
The first time? Wait, what?
Well, yeah, why did he throw you in the brig?
Huh?
Why did he throw you in the brig?
Discipline me.
What'd you do?
Took an extra
What did
day
I
off.
do? I was over the hill with no leave. I took a little extra time. There was a fence there, and there was a tent inside the fence. And I'm standing there, and my lieutenant, my platoon leader, comes by. Well, I like that guy. He came by and he says, Graves, he said, let me ask you, was it worth it? I said, yes, sir. He said, I thought so.
And I understand taking your time, but an extra day, man, you are a hero.
So you said your first time in the brig.
That's the first time, yeah.
Go on.
Let's hear the other ones.
Insubordination. Hey, insubordination.
Oh, you are my people, both of you. You're troublemakers.
Well, but you know, listen,
How
when
can
you
you
stop
say
to
a thing
think
like
about it, there's no excuse. We were kids.
Oh, yeah.
Teenagers get into trouble.
That's
Except
crazy.
you. You didn't get in trouble, did you?
No.
No? You're a liar. You're just hiding it.
That was such a legitimate offense. Just,
I know. Oh,
sir.
How'd he know?
Where were you guys when you had heard that the Japanese were going to surrender, and that you knew that the war was over?
Well, I'll tell you, I did a lot of singing in my company battalion, and I put shows on, you know. I'd go around, my skipper would say, Graves, it's time for a program, entertainment. And I said, well, he said, just volunteer them. Tell them I said they're going to have to perform. So I went around, heard some guy did a tap, you know. We had a pretty good show. They hesitated, but I says, the old man says, you got to do it. So they had to do it. We put on a show. Now, they hadn't surrendered yet. Germany had already surrendered. And we put this show on, and it was around 9 o'clock at night outside in the tent, and we had a wooden stage. And they all did their stuff, and I was going to close it by singing a song, and I'm singing. Then all of a sudden, in the audience come 3 photographers with their cameras. And we said, and I looked like that, Bob Crosby, Bing Crosby's brother. He was our recreation officer. And he was next to me, and I said, fellas, what are you doing? And the boys jumped up and said, get out of here. You broke our show up. Get out of here. No, wait. The war is over. And they froze. Get out of here. We would never believe that thing would ever end. No, it's over. Harry Truman was notified. They woke him up this morning. Everything's set. They have surrendered unconditionally. And all of a sudden, hats went up. We went crazy. And Bob Crosby said, give me your attention, fellas.
How could you tell
And
the
when
difference?
Huh?
How could you tell the difference?
Well, Bob Crosby said, fellas, go to your tents. We all walked, and we're going down the company streets, several. Not one word. Not one word was spoken. We got in our tents, got in our bunks, and all you could hear was sniffing. Too proud to share. It was great. It was wonderful, and that was wonderful to experience a peace treaty. The war was over. Absolutely. Yep.
Beautiful. What about you, Al? When did you hear the news?
You weren't over the hill, were you?
No.
Okay.
God, I love you guys together.
I was chasing the Guam Indians. Let's see. Well, the CO put it on the speaker system, so it was the whole camp's heard it. And I can't remember the date or anything, but incidentally, the CO of the receiving station, he was a woolly booger guy. He kept throwing beer parties out on the beach.
Sounds like our people.
Maybe.
When did you guys hear how the war ended? Did you guys hear that there was nuclear weapons involved? No.
We heard nothing about that. Only that they finally had enough. They had to surrender.
They came from
They were just
Guam
about
and
wiped out. They had no navy. I went in Ryuka, Sasebo Harbor, and it's a submarine base. And you should see the submarines turned upside down. And what ships were there were sticking up with a bow out. I mean, our Air Force just pounded that place to attack. We went in and slept in warehouses. Rats all over. We had our blankets over us, and all of a sudden, what the heck was that? Rats. Oh, they were all over the warehouse. Well, we were supposed to hold that area. Later, we went off into towns because we had to clean up. We didn't do it. We supervised the people to do it. We never saw a human being in Japan for 2 weeks.
Holy shit.
Never saw them.
Yeah.
All right.
Then all of a sudden, kids would come down. We'd give them a candy ration bar, candy. They'd go back, then Mama would come down. Then she'd get some canned goods, you know. They didn't have anything. And the old man came down. He was a little bit superstitious about it, but all of a sudden, they went and told everybody that people are all coming down, and that was it.
This is during a time frame when, so the Japanese were told the American soldiers will kill you. They're going to do
We're going to
kill
everything.
terrible things.
Yeah.
And that's what their military told, and their country told the civilians. That's why a lot committed seppuku in order to, instead of getting captured, surrendered. So that's why when you, like the kids coming down, give candy, then it's just like, holy shit, they're not eating us. They're not terrible humans.
I got into homes. I had a great time. There was one man there. He was going to start a union at the docks. They never had unions, you know. And he was telling me, he said, I have to tell you that your president, Mr. Roosevelt, he was supporting the unions, and people got a decent wage. We are trying to do that here.
That's crazy.
I have a question about the rats.
The what?
The rats. So
the rats.
You're a Marine. Did the Marines ever
I
take?
hate them.
Okay, you were a Marine. You are a Marine. Did you ever take the two biggest rats and fight them against each other? That's something that Marines would do. You're
Do you hear me out?
He hasn't said no.
We never thought about it. I knew a couple of guys would do it. He collected rattlesnakes.
I knew a Marine would take the rats and fight them against each other.
I got an idea, guys.
Right. There's a big rat here. There's a big rat here. What if they fought? We're all bored. I'm just saying.
In Los Angeles, you were in California, weren't you? Were you in California? Yeah. The LA hotel, Well, anyway, we took that hotel over during the war.
Too young. I was too young.
And there was a court. You know, there's rooms all, and there's that hollow court. And we had a few guys that brought the simulator bombs. You know, they just had a loud boom. You know, and when that echo, boom, 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 and Luenthal, the fellow, he caught rattlesnakes, killed them, then he'd skin them, and he'd make belts. The guy was really good. His mother managed the LA hotel.
No doubt.
I went back there after the war, and I wanted to visit her. He had moved. And she said, Graves, you guys just about put me out of business. He said, all we had was reports about noises and doors with a fist imprint through it. It was terrible. Oh, it was awful.
That's called booze and Marines.
Al, you said they told you about nuclear bombs when the Japanese surrendered.
Yes.
What'd they say, or what was your guys' understanding of what a nuclear bomb was? Did you even know what it was?
Well, yeah, I did.
Okay.
Because I was an electronics fan. And that's what I took out after I got out of the service. Went to school for electronics. So, yeah, I didn't know entirely about it, but I knew that.
You had an idea.
You had an idea what it was. And that's what scared the hell out of me.
Yeah.
I bet.
Yeah. Well, what it did to Japan, man, it killed thousands and thousands of people.
Instant.
Yep.
In a flash.
And
But
this is scaring the hell out of me right now.
Yeah, our government figured out how to harness the sun.
yeah.
Yeah, right. There you go.
Concerning.
There you go. Yeah.
But to end the war, though, because like even the Battle of Iwo Jima was a very bloody battle, and that's what the one piece of history is. It would have been more deaths actually getting on mainland than just the 2 nuclear bombs that were set off during that time.
And that's the piece of history that we brought up on a previous podcast, is that every Purple Heart that the U.S. military has ever given out to current day, including yours that you got, was actually made in preparation for...
I'm bad at my job.
It was made in preparation for an invasion of Japan because they were expecting that many casualties.
Yeah,
which
they
is
were
wild to think
getting
about.
ready for it.
Crazy. Now, this is, if you want a crazy story. So, Don, they would used to hammer, they would bomb the beaches, and that's where you guys would hang out or hide in at first when you were getting on the beaches when you beached Iwo Jima, correct?
Yes. What about the bombing?
You would hide in the bombs or in the holes, the craters.
Oh, yes, yes. I always say the Air Corps. Air Corps.
Air Corps at that time.
Made the best tailor-made foxholes a Marine ever crawled into. It would handle 3 Marines. We'd dig in the cave in. That bomb just busted that right out of there. Beautiful.
Dig it in 3 seconds.
Go, go, go. Just imagine an explosion. Like, run, get in that one. Okay, we're good. That's crazy to me.
Lightning doesn't strike twice. We're going in that one.
You know, here's something that I'll say it right.
Uh-oh.
Well, no, there's a lot of hygiene here. Now, imagine for 6 weeks, you can't get out of your foxhole. We learned that because a lot of kids got shot doing something. You don't do it. You don't. When we got aboard ship, we had nets when we got down. We had nets to get back up. And the sailors would help us crawl over the top. We never washed our teeth. We never washed our face. We never shaved, etc., etc., etc. We were a mess. And this one kid in Navy, he knew me.
You haven't changed.
He said, Graves, what's wrong with your eyes? And I said, why? Well, they're on fire. They're red. They're just red. We didn't get any sleep. You wouldn't catnap either.
No.
No. We didn't get any sleep. We were a mess.
You should have.
So you can use your imagination as to why we were.
Explosions, everything else. So how often for your rotations, when was the first bath after you've hit the beach?
Right aboard ship.
How long was
Shower.
that? How long? How many weeks?
Oh, we were 6 weeks on there. Yeah.
Jesus.
It's something that like a lot of my family had talked about, because I had family who served in the Pacific as well. A lot of them had issues with, their teeth would rot out and things because nobody brushed your teeth, because at least the way that I was told he put it was, why brush your teeth to keep your teeth for 20 years when we don't know if we'll live to tomorrow? And that's just kind of the way they look at it.
You can always get false choppers if they get hit.
That's a positive ass mindset. I ain't brushing them. You get fake ones.
No, I've learned this one thing. It's one thing to face the enemy, get shot at, and shoot at them. It's another thing, the living condition. It's horrible. It's just bad. I don't know how many, at least in my company, we had 3 or 4 guys. They just couldn't wait. They went outside the hole and did everything. Bam. Sitting ducks.
A lot of people don't realize that about the history of warfare, is that most of the time, until pretty recently, most deaths in war had nothing to do with the enemy. I mean, like even during the Civil War, most deaths had nothing to do with an enemy bullet, anything like that. It was dysentery, disease, just poor living conditions for 4 years. That'll do more than the enemy ever will.
You fellas ever seen Letters from Iwo?
Letters of Iwo Jima?
Yeah.
That's the Cadillac. That's the Cadillac that was made. You got straight scoop, because the remainder of the boys that went home, on Iwo, we arrested 250 of them. The rest were killed. They went home and told everybody. And so they knew what they were talking about writing that book. So the flags of our fathers was a fluke. Those others, I was with Spielberg there at Normandy, that wrote him and Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
You were with Tom Hanks too?
Yeah. No. Tom Hanks was there. He wasn't over where I was, but he was walking around.
But you were with Spielberg?
Yeah. But
Both of
Spielberg. Did you get to talk to Tom Hanks?
No.
Oh.
Just Spielberg?
Yeah, but Spielberg, a wonderful guy. Oh, and he.
Oh, yeah.
Normally they'll talk and then they get away. He said, "Just a minute, Don." He said, "I gotta leave, but I'll be right back." And I thought, well, that's the end of that. He came back and said, "Where were we?" I thought that was great. I asked him about the movie. So I said, "Let me ask you something. What was the big one that Tom Hanks was in with him on?"
Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah.
Good movie. Classic.
There were, what, you say it's a classic?
Yeah. Saving
it's
Private
a fluke.
It's a fluke. Okay.
It's a fluke.
Okay. Fluke.
Let me tell you why.
Yeah, I hate Saving Private Ryan.
Who likes that movie?
John Basilone was killed on my right, 10 feet away. He was on a bond tour before that. And he went to his skipper, who was Chesty Puller. He was the captain then.
I recognize that name.
But so he went to Chesty Puller and said, "Captain," he said, "I want to go on with my buddies." He said, "But we're making money, bond tours." He said, "I want to go back. I want to go on the line. I want to go with my buddies." Well, he got in our outfit. He got in the 27th Regiment of my division. He was right on my right. He never got up. He got shot there. They've got him. "Come on, you so-and-sos, let's get him." And he's got a machine gun and he's blazing away. That never happened.
Are you talking about Flags of Our Fathers?
Yeah. I'm talking about Flag of Our Fathers.
Because I was going to ask you, I thought you were talking about Saving Private Ryan for a moment.
I did too. I was like, well, I thought everyone liked that.
And
Because I was going to ask you what your problem with that movie was.
And there was one other thing. There was several, but one other thing. At the end, do you remember the 2 Japanese that escaped from their own people? And they had white rags? And they surrendered, and they sat him down there, and a sergeant was standing there with his M1, and a lieutenant came up to him and he said, "We're going on a patrol. Keep an eye on these 2. We'll be back."
Oh,
he said, yes, sir. He had chew in his mouth. He looked at the two Japanese, and the one Japanese says, I don't like him. The other one says, oh, he'll be all right. He'll be all right. The sergeant, Buck Sergeant, bam, bam, killed them both. That never happened. He'd have been court-martialed. When you surrender, you take care of him.
And you guys took that very seriously.
That never happened. They should never put that in. Then also, the 1st Marine Division went to New Zealand. After Guadalcanal, I went to New Zealand right after that. And that other half went to Australia. Now, in New Zealand, they have what they call trams, which are streetcars. These boys had liberty, and they ran in town with their white skivvy shirts. Never happened. You don't go anywhere with your undershirt. That's an undershirt.
Big no.
And they were running all over the streetcar, harassed. It was terrible. That never happened. That was crazy. And the same thing in Australia. I could go on and on and on. And there was one Mariner that was meaner than heck. Do you remember him? And there were prisoners sitting there. And he went by with his rifle and he kicked the one, if you remember. He did something to him. And I said, here we go. That never happened. That never happened. That doesn't happen. Not in the Marine Corps.
But Saving Private Ryan?
I didn't care for that. Saving Private. Let's go to that one.
Oh,
now they found him. They finally found
this fire.
They found Private Ryan. I'm not going. Oh, really? Really? You got a commander there telling you that we've got you. They want you back. You're going to la-da-da. I'm not leaving my buddies. You will go. And then just behind, there's a sergeant telling a kid what to do, and they have a fist fight. Never happened. You don't hit someone with stripes.
Now, what if that is just the version of events that the man at the end, the guy, Private Ryan at the end, told his family to sound really cool?
He made it up.
He made it up, yeah.
Well, I mean, it brings out some of the conditions that you go through. That's true. But, I mean, why do they do that? So I told Spielberg that. He said, Don, he said...
I like he's just like, yo, Spielberg, what the F, bro?
Listen here, that T-Rex, that's not how they saw him.
He said, Don, we have to sell movies.
Spielberg, come
At least
here.
he's honest. I appreciate his candor.
Don said, why don't you sell this?
So I was asked to ask about Hill 362.
I'll never forget it. We lost our battalion there.
Damn.
We lost a battalion, and another guy, he was our music. He's on the line with us. He came to me, and he knew demolition. He said, Graves, we got a job to do. We woke up in the morning, you know. I don't have anybody at all. I'm all by myself. So I joined him, and there's a ridge goes up to the right. There's a mouth on Hill 362A. And they threw everything up. They killed our battalion, broke our battalion up. We had no officers left. So in the morning, we crawled up a ledge on the right, and it's just like this here. And all of a sudden, we got demolition. We have a cone shape, a mine you set on top and it'll blow in. We had everything we needed, and we're crawling up. And all of a sudden, right over here, bam! It's a .50 caliber burning the ground. There's a tank opening up on us.
Holy shit.
They thought we were Japs. I don't know what happened, but thank God they stopped. Someone must have told them those are friendly.
Holy shit. So
God's truth. And we got to the top. We had to crawl over, I counted them, 25, 30 dead Japanese. We had to crawl over to get to the mouth. We got to the mouth, and we set a 5-gallon can of gasoline with primer cord fuse. We had a rope on it. We're singing it like that. And our boys were down there watching. And we're swinging it like that, and the other guy, I'm swinging. He pulls the cord, and all of a sudden we let go and back up. Kabooey! Fire goes in there and rolls out. Didn't do any good. They ran to the north underground. They went all the way. You could go on 8 miles in Iwo Jima in tunnels. Then we put the shape charge on it, and we blew some of it in, but it didn't all go in.
So how did you guys address the tunnels?
Nothing. We wouldn't walk in them. I wouldn't go inside. No. If they want to come out, okay. Yeah.
Guys, I just, before we close this out, I know it's getting late, and I just want to say again, from Unsub, all of us, you guys, thank you so much for your time. You both are amazing humans. We are truly honored to have you sit at this table, and we are this is like our most proud episode. We can say that easily. We've done 160 something. This one right here is the one we're just, thank you so fucking much for this.
Can I say just a few short words?
Absolutely.
Yes. God bless America.
Amen.
Hell yeah. God bless America. I can live with that one.
I've got a comment. 5 years after I was discharged, I was out taking flying lessons, and this pretty gal just landed and pulled up where I was, and I saw a blue sweater get out of the airplane, so I had to go see. Come to find out, she was a widow with 5 kids. He was killed on Iwo Jima.
No doubt.
Yeah. And we finally got married.
No doubt. So you met her, and then
had 2 of our own. So we had
7 kiddos. Congratulations,
Nice.
brother.
Beautiful.
I thought you were talking about Dawn for a second.
No,
Beautiful
no.
young girl. Dawn's like, I'm going to fight you. You guys are
get you in trouble.
He's the old man.
Okay, yeah, I was confused. Dawn didn't. Step
Well,
out.
let me tell you about a girl. I met a girl, a second girl, after I got out of the Corps, and we were married for 72 years.
Oh, dang. Congratulations on
She
both.
passed away after that, yeah.
My condolences, but yeah, to marry like that, 72 years speaks for the testament of an amazing relationship. How long were you married for?
48 years.
That is, both of y'all are just amazing humans. We are truly
Lost her in
blessed.
2000.
Well, it was our generation.
My condolences.
And if I
It
can
was our
ask,
generation.
if I can ask before we lose the opportunity to, I was asked to ask about your girlfriend on Iwo Jima.
My girlfriend on Iwo Jima.
I was told it was a funny story.
Wait, wait, what is this? I need to know. Wait, go open this can of worms.
Iwo Jima. Explain that to me a little bit.
I was just told to ask. I'm not sure what
I
the
had a
story is here.
girlfriend on Iwo Jima. You never heard that, did you?
She sent you a picture?
She sent you a picture?
She sent me a picture?
That's what she said.
Who sent that?
It was Al.
Oh, wait a minute. How do you know that? I got to tell you.
Kind of rememberable.
Kitty. All
Her
right.
name was Kathleen.
Okay.
And we called, and they were Irish. Of course, I'm Irish too. The mail, you get mail. We got mail. I don't care if you're in combat, you get your mail. So I'm in a foxhole, and I got this flat package. Everybody's concerned. What's in the package? I say, haven't opened it yet. We'll open it up now. Well, I opened it up, and here was a beautiful picture of Kitty. She graduation from high school. Beautiful. I set her up on the other side of the cave, of the hole, like that. And some of the guys say, "Hey, Grace, what do you have in the package?" I said, "My girl from back in Detroit." Oh, yeah. He said, "Well, listen, when you get through with it, will you send it over to us?" Hey, I'm sorry, but that's the way it was. I couldn't help it.
Some things never change.
The worst part is,
We were in a war.
The worst part is they had 4 weeks left in that foxhole.
Cody, you want to do the honors? Close this
I
out.
I hope that's not recorded.
Not at all. Not at all.
Of course not. Yeah, right.
All right, I'm gonna mess this up one more time.
Okay.
All right. Thank you guys for joining the Unsubscribed podcast. I'm joined by Eli Double Tap, Nick Fat Electrician, Don Graves, Al Chatwin.
Chatwin.
Al Chatwin, E4 Brothers for Life, E4 Mafia. Right here. Myself, Donut Operator, and Brandon Herrera. Thank you so much for tuning in to this amazing podcast where we had two of the best of us.
Genuine privilege.
Genuine privilege. I'm
Thank you,
so
gentlemen.
happy. Thank you, guys. Seriously, thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
I have a request.
Let's hear it.
I don't know about you, but I want a copy of this thing.
Done and done.
Got it.
We can do that.
You want beta, VHS?
DVD.
Yeah, DVD.
No. Only the best Blu-ray for our friends.
Yeah, Blu-ray.
Hey, I'm going to play that. My daughter will say, "Oh, Dad."
All right,
I'll tell her.
E4 Mafia.
We were Marines.
You mean four.
We did things.
Like that.
Oh, shit.
E4 Mafia.
Just like this.